I've never expected to end up in Mississippi. It's the poorest state. It's the most conservative state. It has the worst schools, kind of horrible history of racial injustice. No one could really figure out why I would want to move to Mississippi. And it's hard to put your finger on. It's to do with things are still operating on a human scale down here in the Deep South. Things are eccentric and unique down here. It's like this island in the middle of America. But nowhere on earth is more American.
Big bird on a high hill, mama. Louisiana, just below. Big bird on a high hill.
They say the Mississippi Delta starts in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel in Memphis.
In 1933, our general manager, Mr. Frank Scott, and his friendship were out hunting in Arkansas. Now, they, of course, brought with them some live duck decoys to help them hunt. They also had with them some Jack Daniels to help them keep warm. Now, the gentlemen focused a bit more on the Jack Daniels. Never quite got around to hunting, and so were surprised when they returned to the hotel and found that they had forgotten to leave their 3 English call ducks back at the farm. They improvised, snuck them into the hotel lobby, and let them loose into our fountain instead. Their deed done, the gentlemen retired to their rooms for the night, but when they came down the next morning, they did find a big crowd of guests gathered around the fountain. Now, they ran over, they apologized, so that they would get this cleaned up right away, but the people there said no. They loved the ducks and suggested instead that we let them stay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have continued to honor that request, for we have had ducks as permanent residents here at the hotel for the past 80 years.
I can't get over these place names. I mean, Hard Cash, Belzoni, Easy Money, Money Sunk, Yazoo City, Midnight, Louise. Here's Africa, Mississippi. Here's Nittayuma, Panther Burn. We're going from Memphis south on Highway 61. We're going to worship. We're going to wander in the swamps. We're liable to drink some whiskey. What's that Bob Dylan line? God said, Abraham, kill me a son. Abe said, where do you want this killing done? God said, out on Highway 61. So this is the legendary crossroads where the bluesman Robert Johnson allegedly sold his soul to the devil in return for magical powers on the guitar. Back then, this would have been way out in the country, in the cotton fields. Now it's kind of downtown Clarksdale, and the city's trying to basically sell its blues heritage to tourists. There's a kind of big blues tourism boom going on here. And you know, whatever it takes to stay alive economically, it's fine by me. And I think the reason why so much music and writing has come out of this place is to do with struggle and conflict between black and white. It's a place where black and white have always been colliding with each other, but also kind of melding with each other at the same time. I mean, the black culture here is just so rich and deep. So you go up in those gospel churches, some of the most awesome music and kind of spiritual celebration to be found.
Church. The name came from God giving it to me in my sleep.
Oh,
and
okay.
so that's how I came up with that name.
All right.
And I didn't know Clarksdale even existed. He gave me that in my sleep. When he gave it to me, I was in Tacoma, Washington. And I got up and found it on the map.
Was it a big change to come down to the Delta after
Oh,
Tacoma?
yes. I cried for 2 years. I said, down here. You know, it's a whole different culture. You have to get used to it.
I'd like to thank you all for welcoming into your church here. We're a long way from home, and it's a beautiful thing to find a warm welcome.
Amen.
I just want to say that both of us have done a lot of traveling, and there's a lot of different ways to worship the same God in this world, and I found this a very beautiful way and a powerful way, and I'd like to thank you all again. Amen. Bye, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. All right. Bye. I've never had so many hugs at one time in my entire life. You've got gospel on the one hand, the Lord's music, and then the blues has always been associated as the devil's music. So a lot of these old blues men, they reach a point in their career where they start approaching death, and they won't sing the blues anymore because they think they're going to hell.
Part of the birth of the blues is the African culture adjusting to Western culture in the Delta. That involves the language and pronunciation of words and everything, and all that's in the beginning of the blues. And that's changed from John's generation. It's like God made people in Africa but different than he made people here. So they were forced over here through slavery and forced to adjust. And they brought a beautiful rhythm with them. And so you have the rhythm with the pronunciation and all the old sayings and the rhymes and everything. And the interpretation of things they even heard on the radio and on the records. When John's generation is gone, the next generation is still going to be a little left, but in 5, 6 years, 7, 8 years from now, there's what's called the authentic blues will be completely gone, and it won't exist. You'll just have an imitation, whether it be by a black guy or a white guy.
They kind of nurture their eccentrics in the Delta. They enjoy their eccentrics in a way that is unusual in most of the country. I think it's heavy. I was in this town named Louise. I think I just wanted to buy some water or something like that, and I walked through the door, and here's this old Chinese couple with this ramshackle store, and the guy's made this special barbecue sauce that's like a mixture of Mississippi barbecue sauce and sort of Chinese hoisin and soy sauce. And everybody I know in the Delta is hooked on this stuff. So it's basically it's a type of barbecue marinade.
Yes, sir.
that kind of has a Delta taste and a kind of a Chinese taste
Right.
brought together.
Right. And a lot of people in this area, they like to put it on wild game, deer,
that's a good
make
idea.
deer jerky.
How much will that be?
$8.98.
So this is my second jar. Am I going to be hooked for life now?
Yes, sir.
Can we see if we can get James Brown working for us?
I don't think it'll work.
You don't think he'll work?
Let's see, I may make him holler. That's all James Brown can do right now, sir. Come on, James. You acting up here? Hey, there you go.
There he goes.
I knew I was gonna get that $100 out of him.
Man, Hoover Lee, he just encapsulates something about the Delta for me. It's that sweet, unexpected charm. That's what one runs into like time and again. I was living in New York City when I decided to move to the Mississippi Delta. I was interested in coming down here and kind of writing about the place, and then I saw this beautiful old house for sale, and I decided to just take the plunge and become a deltoid. I'm hoping to try and settle down here. I haven't been good at settling down my life before, but I just really like it here. The thought of moving somewhere else kind of just pains me. You get used to the warmth of the people, and everywhere else they seem a little cold and hurried. The delta ends at Vicksburg, where the Yazoo River and the Mississippi River come together and flow on down to New Orleans. Someone described the Mississippi Delta as the most southern place on earth. It's the kind of distilled essence of what the Deep South is.